welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, I am Nicole from my Pandora Charmed Life. Today's video is going to be all about safety chains. A request I've gotten in the past is, can you tell me about safety chains? Are they necessary? Do you recommend them? And how do you use them? So my video will be primarily focused on safety chains and whether or not I recommend them. If you guys are subscribed to Fashion Storyteller, Emily also reviewed her top 3 reasons for safety chains, which is an awesome video. So if you haven't had time to check it out, check out her top 3 reasons for safety chains as well. I think getting different people's perspectives are helpful in deciding, are safety chains meant for you? So I will link her video up here so you can watch that. So safety chains, what's the purpose? The purpose is to keep your charm bracelets safe. Are they absolutely necessary? Yes and no. I use them on the majority of my bracelets, but they're not on all of them. So for instance, here's one of my bracelets that does not have a safety chain. What I end up doing is putting at the end of the bracelet a charm that has to screw on and off. That way it reduces the risk of them falling off if the bracelet was to come loose. But it's not 100% foolproof, right? You're gonna have better chance of keeping your charm safe if you do have a safety chain on. I had a safety chain on this bracelet, but the charms are too tight together, so I took it off. That was a call that I made. Not necessarily a good one, especially because this bracelet is my first bracelet I've ever gotten, and it does seem like this part's a little loose, right? Sometimes it actually has popped off. I don't know how, but none of the charms came off. As a safety precaution, I actually have 2 charms next to it that have the threads just in case this one was to come off. So, an example of when a bracelet's in the danger zone if you don't have one. Let's talk about the different types of safety chains that exist. There are your classic safety chains, which are your screw-on safety chains. So they have the thread just like your threaded charms would have. So that is what the majority of safety chains are. You have some safety chains that are actually silicone lined and they can clip on. We'll talk about why that's important later. I also believe, I don't have one as an example, but Essence has silicone lined safety chains too. I'm not necessarily sure why it's necessary on an Essence bracelet considering the charms are silicone lined as well, but maybe if you really like the little dangle illusion that a safety chain gives you, maybe that would be a reason to do it. So you have the regular threaded ones, silicone lined, Essence silicone lined, and then you also have safety chains that are for your regular Moments bracelets, but they're not threaded, they actually are a clip style. I don't have one to show you, but we'll talk about why those are a little bit different here when we get to how I wear my safety chains. A bracelet that absolutely must have a safety chain is one like the smooth bracelet. So if you'll see with the smooth bracelet, there is no threading on the end of this bracelet. So if you have a charm, whether it's open works or thread, it's gonna fall right off. So this charm is actually a threaded one. So if it was on a regular bracelet, that would not happen. But because it's on the smooth bracelet with no clip stations, you would want to use a safety chain. You would, in this case, have to opt for the safety chains that are silicone lined. And I'll just show you. Oh, see, look, just fell off. We'll put one silicone lining on one side. We'll get the charm back on. And then, voila. Now your charm is safe and it's not going to fall off. So if you're going to use a smooth bracelet, you're going to want to get silicone lined safety chains. But maybe if a safety chain is not for you, there's also a little secret. You can just use the silicone clips to clip your end. That way it keeps them safe too. Just a little secret. The other bracelets that I feel are an absolute must-have for safety chains are going to be bracelets that have a lot of open works charms on them. Now, if you're new to Pandora and you're like, what are open works charms? Let me show you. Give me 1 second. I grabbed a bracelet that has open works charms on them. All right, this one has your classic threaded safety chain. Okay, open works charms are very open in the middle, in the inside. There's absolutely no threading. I'll go ahead and insert a little clip here of an open works charm next to a threaded charm. That way you can see what I mean by open works. So open works, no matter what bracelet they're on, they are going to fall right through. The majority of Pandora rose charms are all open works. So every one of my bracelets that have Pandora rose on there, they absolutely have a safety chain. I think you want to make note for any of these options that you can always put a clip at the end, right? There's nothing that says you have to use a safety chain to keep the end of your bracelet secure. You can use a clip. I'm going to tell you why I prefer a safety chain. So one of my primary reasons for safety chains before I was like, oh, I really need to protect my charms, is what it does at the end of this bracelet. So it covers the thread, the threaded part of the bracelet, which I just find to not be like visually appealing. So I prefer the look of the safety chains. Safety chains come in different designs, and so I think it adds a different element to your bracelet that really can hide that threaded part of your bracelet. So another one of the reasons why I just find safety chains to be pretty and to be useful. And I'm kind of a dangle girl, so the fact that like it has this little extra dangly doesn't really bother me because I like dangles. While we're on that topic, the reason why I don't like the clip safety chains is because the clipped safety chains won't go over the thread. So if you had a clip safety chain, and we'll use the smooth bracelet as an example, and we'll get a close-up look here, you're gonna still see the threading because the clips won't cover that. And since one of my main reasons why I like the safety chains is to cover that, that's why I don't use the clip station safety chains. They're actually really pretty, but if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather just use clips, I guess. I don't know. I just haven't found a use for them yet, but never say never, because I've always changed my mind on going back and forth on what I like and don't like. One of the other things that safety chains do is it can help you with weighting on your bracelet. Now that's going to completely depend on the safety chain that you have. Some are very light, right? So there are, some of the newer ones that they're coming out with, which has a very little, just a little bit of silver. They're not very chunky, but there are some. This is a good example, and we'll get close-up looks of this, and actually the same with this bracelet. So with my my Unity Peace Love bracelet, the Starry Night safety chain and then the Dainty Bow safety chain are like really good solid chunks of silver. People have asked, how do you keep, the top section of your bracelet on the top? Because it tends to get weighted down depending on what heavier charms are on the bottom. And I've noticed, it's not 100% foolproof, but I have noticed that these two bracelets, I hardly have any issues with them flipping too much because of the weight of the safety chain. So that's another reason to get a safety chain if you have an opportunity to pick up one of those like heavier, dutier, solid chunks of silver ones. Really helpful. With majority of the other ones though, they're very light, so you're not going to get that effect. And my final reason why I absolutely love safety chains is how it helps you put your bracelet on much easier. For instance, all you have to do is put this bracelet on, and then, let's see if I can capture this. The thing that the safety chain can do is you pull, so here you have this, right? You use your fingers to pull the safety chain even closer, and then voila, it's on with ease. Versus when you don't have a safety chain, it's a little bit trickier to put these guys on because well, I'm kind of a pro at this, but right, you kind of have to use your body to get it and clasp it. So, okay, not that difficult, but again, I wear these like every day, so I'm pretty good at putting it on. When I was a beginner, my first ever sales associate, who's no longer at Pandora and no longer in the city I live in, so whatever, I guess, whatever. My very first sales associate taught me that trick of putting them on, and I'm like, oh, that's so good, so good. But I've gotten pretty good at putting them on. Just to review my top reasons, I think I was probably all over the place. One, it is for safety. Is it a must-have? No. You can make sure that you keep threaded charms at the end of your bracelet. You can secure them with a clip. It's not absolutely necessary unless you have a smooth bracelet or open works charms at the end and you don't want to use clips. So, first reason is safety. 2, it's visually pleasing to have the threads covered up, at least in my opinion. 3, it is easier to put the bracelets on. 4, what's my reason number 4? Geez, see, I am all over the place. 4, the heavier the safety chain, the more it can help weigh the bottom of the bracelet down. All right, so those are my reasons. I guess it ended up only really being 4, but we went over the different types so you can decide, are safety chains right for you? They're not for everybody. I personally like them. Again, I don't use them on all my bracelets, but they're on majority of them. Let me know what you guys think. Do you use safety chains, or do you use clips, or do you just kind of risk it? Like, hey, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Leave me a comment below, and if you are a safety chain user, which type of safety chain is your favorite? Do you have a go-to? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out Emily's. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.